What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Today we're going to go over the build that I used to complete the Incursion. We've done it 4 times now over the last couple of days, and this is pretty rock solid. It's definitely my DPS go-to build. As far as builds that we've been using as a group, it's pretty simple, give or take a few changes in skills. One being a full DPS build and the other one just being a healer build. We haven't really used anything else, and we kind of get through with 1 healer and 3 DPS. Before we get into it though, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to come over to Twitch, twitch.tv/DJTICKLE, where you can see all this happening live. And if you need a community Discord for the Division because you need to get into a group to do the Incursion, or you need some help with something else, you'll find the link for my Discord down below in the description. With all that said though, let's get started. Right, so right off the bat for this one, I'm going to recommend that you go with Gunner. Now, it was a toss-up between Gunner and Technician, and the reason that I recommend Technician being good is that for the last boss only, you can get 12% extra damage to skill proxies. And obviously, if you've got to the last boss, you know that the sniper throws out sniper turret after sniper turret after sniper turret, and it just gives you a little bit of boost in damage and taking them down quickly, because they will ruin your game. But aside from that, generally I just used Gunner all the way through, and again, really simple reason: the 10% armor on kill. There's ads all the time, and you don't really want to be too reliant on the healer, because the healer's going to do other things well, maybe pulse and and stuff like that. So the rate of fire increase, the armor on kill, Gunner's just good all around. Just make sure obviously you're speccing into the weapon that you are using. Okay, so that's that for Gunner. Right, so let's have a look at the build. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to show you right off the rip what it is. So this is it. St. Elmo's absolutely leveled up to level 24. I can't emphasize enough. I know it's not like it's an increase in the base weapon damage, but it's still absolutely worth it. Get your expertise level as high as you can. Work on it as much as you can. And get that leveled up as much as you can. Because what you will notice in the Incursion, now that we've had it for a couple of days, especially the first fight and the last fight, they really are DPS races. You can make your life so much easier in them fights if you can just do them quick. And obviously to do them quick, you need a lot of DPS. So I do recommend max out your builds. If you're struggling to do it, go back to getting your builds maxed out, and go in there with one real hefty DPS build. The left is on there for building stacks, or perhaps if I went for a sledgehammer buff, really useful on the last boss as well, because they stay in like that upper enclosed area, really easy to snag a grenade on them. So that's really good. That's really easy. Right, so then we'll go back to, so we'll look at the strikers first. Really easy for you guys to pick up. The only thing you'll probably need to farm, I think, is the holster. You can't craft the holster, but it does depend on what other gear you get as well. So we've got the striker's backpack. Don't worry about me, the expertise. I just do that because I had some spare materials. But weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and obviously we're going to take the risk management talent because we have to. Then we've got the gloves with weapon damage and crit damage. We've then got the knees with weapon damage and critical hit damage. We then got the holster with weapon damage and critical hit damage. And that's just kind of it for the strikers. Really easy. Then I've taken 2-piece Bellstone. Now, anything else is easy to get, right? So the Bellstone mask, if you need to get that, or maybe you got a Bellstone pair of gloves, knees, holster, whichever one you decide to take. Get one with crit chance and crit damage, and that's fairly easy. You can craft some, you can maybe farm them. That's the fairly easy part to get, because then I can roll the core attribute to weapon damage because it comes with the blue core attribute. That's going to give us the 1% armor regen. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. It mounts up really quick. But obviously we want to get the armor on kill here as well, and to do that we have to get the chest piece. Now the chest piece here, this is really hard to get. You can craft it, but you're going to have to drop one that has crit chance, crit damage and obliterate. Now it can't really be spotter because we can't use the linked laser pointer, and if you're not going to use the St. Elmo, you're going to kind of drop in damage. Now what I would recommend if you have got one with spotter would be not to use the St. Elmo, would be to use the Kingbreaker. That's a really powerful gun. You can put the linked laser pointer on it, and then you can run Technician as a specialization. And as we said, Technician before also gives us the 12% extra damage to proxies. So you have got some options, but if you do manage to get one that has crit chance and crit damage on, just keep the blue core attribute and roll Obliterate on. That's what I would recommend to do. I'd had that previously. I know you're losing out on that 15% and it's a DPS race, but some armor's not going to go amiss either anyway. And it's just a really, really good piece. The 10% armor on kill that then goes with the other 10% that comes from Gunner, that goes with the armor regen, means that constantly you've got, you know, when you get a kill, you've got 20% coming back. In the meantime, you've got the 1% ticking. You can have a cycle of getting your armor back really, really quickly and not having to rely on the healer too much. And you've still got lots of DPS and lots of self-sustain. And that's kind of how I ran it. Now, I ran it all the way through with the shield, the Crusader shield, which I have spec'd up as well, so that it has better regeneration. Again, another skill I would highly recommend getting up in your expertise. Not necessarily that necessary for this, but definitely one I would recommend. And then the Reviver Hive. For the last boss, we always switched out for the EMP sticky bomb. And that was for when we got the sniper drones constantly coming out. All three of the DPS just ran that. We would shoot it on the sniper turret, and then all three of us would lay into it and get it dead really, really quick. Maybe you get away with having two when you get a bit more of an organized group. Maybe even one when you get a bit more of an organized group. But we decided to take the three because there's not that very many ads in that section, and there's plenty of cover for you to hide behind. If you want to take a look at the stats though for this bad boy, we're exactly 60%, 137% critical hit damage and 75% headshot damage. And it just works incredibly nice. Now, I could have taught the Ouroboros, but what you'll find is in the Incursion, everything's medium to long range away. So that's where the Kingbreaker will fall off, but it's where the St. Elmo's shines because it really does shine at medium to long distance. It's super accurate. If you, for some reason, don't have a St. Elmo from last season, I would definitely recommend going with Technician and running a Police M4. Then you're going to get to keep that accuracy and you're still going to be able to put out a lot of damage. Flatline Police M4 is really, really good. If you feel like you're confident though, definitely go with the Kingbreaker like we mentioned earlier on. Super, super big on damage. And once you get used to where the spawns are and things like that, you can burst them down really, really quick. That's going to be it for this video. Short and sweet. Nothing you've not seen before, but just a few transitions for you there that might help you out if you're struggling to get through it. And if you do need some help to get through it, come and see me on Twitch. I'll be live later helping people get through. Thank you for watching, agents. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.